Good morning. I was reading this morning in my morning devotionals and came across something that I felt like would be better to just share with a video. I've been going back through 1 Samuel and reading how the people cried out for a king and God gave them what they wanted. And to just give it to you kind of in a paraphrased short version, they were warned about asking for a king and what that would bring on them as a nation. And they still were determined to go on their own way and be like all the other nations. They had a desire to be like the world. And, the church is a lot like that today. But I want to read you something that came out of 1 Samuel in the 12th chapter, after they had gotten the king, Saul was appointed right after they asked for that, and God even brought him into the picture. So, we look at where we are as a nation and as a church, and you can bank on this. God has given us exactly what we've asked for, and I'm going to prove it right here in the Word. Not so much in this video, but I want to show you where the nation of Israel realized after they had asked for the king how they were wrong in that. And they told Samuel, who was their prophet at the time, that they realized that they had made a mistake. All right, but I want you to watch what God did and what Samuel told them. After they realized that, Samuel said this to them in verse 20 of chapter 12 of 1 Samuel. Don't be afraid. Reading this out of NLT. Don't be afraid, Samuel reassured them. You have certainly done wrong, but make sure now that you worship the Lord with all your heart and don't turn your back on Him. Don't go back to worshiping worthless idols that cannot help or rescue you. They are totally useless. The Lord will not abandon His people because that would dishonor His great name. That's the thing I want. That's the point I want to drive, is no matter what, God's going to keep His word no matter how much we change. You know what I mean? He's not going to stray from what He said He was going to do. He said He'd never leave us nor forsake us. And there's another point I want to make after I finish this scripture. And I'm going to come back to that verse 22. The last part of 22 said, for it has pleased the Lord to make you His very own people. Even when you walk away, which is what Israel did, they got their eyes on the world and they said, we want to be like the world. Even in that, it said, for it has pleased the Lord to make you His very own people. And then Samuel goes on to say that He's going to continue to remember them in prayer as He walks away from the nation of Israel as their prophet, because they now have a king. That is where we are as a nation. We are following the world as a United States of America. We no longer look to God, but you know what He said as far as us as believers, as the church, it still pleases Him that we have accepted Him, or that He has accepted us as His very own people through the blood that Jesus shed on the cross. Now, I want to make a quick point and I'll be done with this video. This pertains to you, believer, individually as well. Okay? You might choose to walk away from the Lord. I don't know why you would, but you might get your eyes on the world. You may stray off of the path, whatever the case. God said there, I want to pull that back up and read that scripture again. I love this. In verse 22, this does not only pertain to the nation of Israel, it pertains to the church. It pertains to you individually. Listen to this. The Lord will not abandon His people or you, believer, because that would dishonor His great name. He can't go back on His word. He said, I'll never leave you and I'll never forsake you. I hope that gives you as much comfort today as it gives me when I read that. You know what? It don't matter what I do. God's not going to abandon me. I may get my eyes on the world. He's going to help me understand that I did that, and I'm going to humble down and call on Him again if that's where I'm at. Child, if you don't, now here's the thing, if you don't truly know the Lord, you're not going to call on him. So I pray that you do know the Lord today, and he's making a plea through his people today that you would call on him. God bless you. I hope it's been a blessing to you. Take care, and I'll talk to y'all again another day.